everyone, and welcome to this segment of Works in Progress. My name is Allison Harper, and today we are going to talk about SPSA's new initiative called SPSA SOAR. We have Zach Trees here with us today from SPSA to give us a little bit more information about this initiative. Zach, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's go ahead and just dive right in. So to give a little bit of background, can you explain what SPSA's primary functions are and who does SPSA serve?
Yeah. SPSA provides solid waste management for 8 communities in southern Hampton Roads. So if you're a resident in Chesapeake, Franklin, Isle of Wight County, Portsmouth, Norfolk, Suffolk, Virginia Beach, or Southampton Roads, and you throw something away at home, SPSA is ultimately responsible for managing that waste. And we do that at our 10 locations, commonly called transfer stations, where waste is collected. So the trash truck picks up your waste at home, brings it to that location, and from there waste is commingled and hauled to either 2 locations, the regional landfill or the new AMP sortation facility. And we also offer some specialty disposal services, things like tires, household hazardous waste, e-waste, and these are available at certain locations at certain times.
Okay, so let's go ahead and just talk about this new initiative called SPSA SORT. So what does SOAR in SPSA SORT stand for?
SORT stands for Separating Organics, Recycling, and Trash. So it's a new way of looking at waste, not just picking it up and landfilling it. A start to finish operation where we can process waste without landfilling it.
Okay, all right. So can you give us a little bit more details about what's the reason behind the whole operation?
Our regional landfill is running out of space, and if we don't act now, we will be all out of space and we'll have to send our waste outside of the region, which is a very costly endeavor. And so what SPSA SORT does is it diverts 50%, so half of all of the waste that we generate, away from the regional landfill. And so rather than, our landfill will double the lifespan. And in addition, disposal costs will remain stable for decades to come.
Who is the company that y'all are working with that actually does this whole operation?
Yeah, SPSA partnered with AMP. And so our job is to bring waste to AMP, and they will recover resources in our trash. And we might not think that there's a lot of resources in our trash, but there are. In 2023, SPSA did a waste characterization study, and we found that 28% of our waste is made of recyclable material. An additional 38% is made of organic material, so that's things like food and yard waste. And so AMP is able to use some new technology, artificial intelligence, cameras, some air jets, and they're able to separate those resources from the regular trash, so we don't have to landfill those resources.
So what ultimately is SPSA contractually responsible to do?
So we are obligated to bring AMP a set amount of waste each year, and that amount of waste will increase as the project nears completion. So currently we bring them 54,000 tons a year. Starting July 1st, we will increase to about 108,000 tons each year, and then at project completion in 2029, we'll be up to 540,000 tons each year. And so right now, since we're only able to deliver them a small amount, about 54,000 tons each year, we want to make sure that we're sending them trash with a high concentration of recyclables and organics so they can divert as much as possible. The more they divert, the less we have to landfill, and the better off our region is.
So Zach, can you give us an example of what recyclables and organic material could be turned into during this operation?
Recyclables are sold on the market as commodities, and organics are converted into a material called biochar. Now, I brought some biochar here. Looks like this, doesn't have a smell at all, but this is made from our trash, our organic material like food and yard waste. And the cool thing about biochar is that it can be effectively sold twice. Once as a material and a second time in the form of carbon credits. Biochar is an ingredient to making concrete. I also have some concrete here, and this was made from our biochar, made with municipal solid waste. 20% of this is made from our trash.
Wow.
And so altogether, AMP is separating 20% of our trash in the form of recyclables and 30% in the form of those organics to be made into biochar. And so that's how we're able to divert 50% of all waste away from the regional landfill.
What does this mean for Chesapeake residents?
Yep, Chesapeake residents can continue to dispose of their waste responsibly. So that's taking advantage of recycling drop-off sites. That's taking advantage of special events like Chesapeake Recycles Days. Because SPSA sort isn't at 100% operating capacity, we don't recommend residents just throw away all of their recyclables just yet.
Okay. And when does this going to go into effect for Chesapeake residents?
So SPSA operates regionally, and because Chesapeake makes up about 25% of SPSA's total municipal waste, 25% of what we send to AMP is attributed to the city of Chesapeake.
Okay. All right. Well, a lot of cool stuff going on. This sounds like a great initiative for the region. I do want to note that you did mention our drop-off sites earlier, and I want to make sure that everybody's aware that those sites are going to remain in their normal places throughout the city of Chesapeake and will be a good resource still for Chesapeake residents to utilize. So, well, thank you so much for being here, Zach, and giving us more information on SPSA sort.
Thank you for having me.
So that concludes this segment of Works in Progress. We will see you next time.